Hello friends, thank you and welcome to this video. Today we'll be covering how you can deploy Authentik in a production environment using NGINX reverse proxy and Docker-based deployment for Authentik IDP solution. Authentik is an amazing solution. I have looked at the feature list and it looks pretty much at par with the leading IDPs like let's say Okta or One Login or maybe Jump Cloud. So very robust solution, and it's a self-hosted solution, which means you can deploy it within your environments. So let's go ahead and deploy this. First step that you need to take is you need to create a DNS record for this one. So here you can see I've created a record for Authentik for my domain, that is securityfocal.com, that we will be using for this testing. And then I'll go to my AWS environment and here I'll create a instance. So let me name it as Authentik with a key, and I will select Ubuntu. So I would recommend using Ubuntu 22.04 LTS. It works pretty well for this deployment that I've tested. And instance type. So here, if you are actually doing a production deployment, it's always a good idea to give it better resources. So for now, for this testing, though it's not a production deployment, but I would still go with like T2 medium instance because we'll also be hosting our NGINX on the same server. Here, let me select something here. Network settings, so VPC is the key. Subnet, I have the preferences. Okay, it will create a security group, which is kind of okay. But here you need to allow some more ports. So 22 is okay, 22 is allowed by default. And then we need to add HTTP and HTTPS. So I'll say custom TCP, or I'll say it has HTTP, yes. HTTP, and it should be allowed from anywhere. Similarly, let me do HTTPS. HTTPS is here. So basically, we'll be using HTTPS to access our Authentik IDP console. And so step custom is okay. Port 80 we need to allow for Let's Encrypt to work so that it can generate the certificate. Okay, HTTPS. So we have allowed what 22.80.443, and then we will also allow 81 port. So port number 81, sorry, something. Okay, port number 81, that is for NGINX Proxy Manager or NPM that we'll be using for this deployment. And then optionally, we can also allow port 9000 and port 9443. So that's basically default ports for Authentik. We will of course not be using those default ports, but they can be allowed at this stage primarily for troubleshooting purposes. So if something is not working, we can have a look like if the solution is directly accessible and so on and so forth. So for troubleshooting per se, it will be helpful. Here also, let me add everything. Okay, so that's 9000, 9443, 81, 443, 80, and 22. Okay, and that's it. Let me go ahead and launch this instance. And I also will map my Elastic IP address to this particular instance that we have just created. So let me disassociate it with my existing instance, and then I will select it again, associate Elastic IP address, and I will choose my new instance. So Authentik is good. Okay, and I'll say associate. Okay, so Elastic IP address is associated. Let me connect now to our server here. Error is there. Okay. So this is the certificate error, which is okay. So this is a newly created server to which we are connecting. And I have some steps here. Those are clearly defined. And I will also leave those steps on the GitHub link. So here you can refer the README, which will have the same steps that I will be using for this deployment. So don't worry about it. And you will find the link to this GitHub repository in the description of this video. So for now, let's go ahead with the steps one by one. So first thing is we have already created a record, allowed the required ports. Let's do a quick update. Sudo apt update and upgrade -y, and we need to give it a moment. Okay, so NGINX case is a very powerful solution, and if you are not sure how to use NGINX or what NGINX can do for you, I have created a dedicated video for NGINX on how you can actually use NGINX and NGINX Proxy Manager to host multiple different servers on a single IP address. I will leave a link of that video in the description for reference. Okay, it's in progress still. Okay, 46 package to do apt update. Okay, so let me do apt upgrade -y. Okay, so after the update, first thing that we'll be doing is we are going to deploy Docker and Docker Compose. So there are some nice articles from Docker on how you can do this for Ubuntu system. And again, I'll leave a link of these articles in the description so you can seamlessly follow the same step that I'm following. Let's see where our system is. Okay, that looks okay. Perfect. So our updates are completed. Now let's deploy Docker and Docker Compose. So to deploy Docker, first thing that you need to do is you need to add Docker's official GPG key. And to do that, again, we'll do update, and then we'll install CS certificates and curls, then keyrings. Okay. Now we'll add the repository to apt sources. Let me just copy this one. Okay. And then once again, we'll do sudo apt get update. And to install the latest version of Docker, we can just use this command here. Okay. Do you want to continue? Y? And to test if Docker is successfully installed, we can use this command. Okay. I'm going to restart the service, which should be okay. So it will pull this image from Docker. Okay. Perfect. So the Docker daemon pulled the hello world image from the Docker hub. That means that our Docker deployment is successful. Now we want to run Docker without using sudo every time because that's a pain, right? So to do that, we just need to use one command here, sudo usermod -ag docker user. And again, like I said, I'll leave a link of this one in my GitHub repository. And that link you will be able to find in the video description. So let me just do that. And after you do that, right, you need to exit from here and reconnect. So what I'll do is I'll just click on type exit and I'll duplicate this session. Okay. Okay, perfect. So now talking about next step, we need to download this Docker Compose YML file. You can actually clone this GitHub repository, but what I'll do is I would rather create a folder manually by the name of Authentik-IAM. And in this directory, we will create Docker Compose and .env file. So let's do it one by one. I'll say mkdir and then Authentik-IAM, cd Authentik-IAM. Now, first thing that we'll do is we'll generate a password and secret key and write it in the env file. So it will automatically create env file, which is good for us. Let me just do this. Okay, this is my first command. And this is my second command. And to enable any error reporting, you can also add this command here. So I'll also, let's say, go ahead and put this command here. And then you can also configure the global email credentials for Authentik, which is recommended. I will, while add this to .env, will not be setting up the email alerts in this video because otherwise it will become pretty long. So what I'll do is I'll just go to my env file and I will manually add those things here. Okay. Perfect. Next, we also need to add some additional lines to our .env file. That is primarily for adding containers for NGINX and NGINX Proxy Manager. So let's do that before we create our Docker Compose YAML file. So let me again go to env, help si, and there are some additional parameters there. Okay. So that's basically what we are doing is a couple of parameters are for Authentik. We are defining the PostgreSQL database credentials here. And you need to change these passwords, right? So make sure you change these passwords here as per your security requirement. And then here we are basically giving some parameters for npm and npm ports and the database. So npm will use MariaDB database. Let's just do a right quit for this one. And we'll also create Docker Compose YAML file. You can actually clone this repository. I prefer just copying and pasting it. So this is my file, docker compose.yml. What I'll do is I'll just do a copy of this one, copy raw file, and I'll just paste it. Right. So that's it. Let's quickly verify. Yeah, should be good. So it has like 4 containers for Authentik IDP, and it has one MariaDB container and one NGINX Proxy Manager NPM container for our reverse proxy. So let me do a right quit. And let's see if everything is fine. Our Docker should come up. So I'll just say Docker compose up here. And it's pulling basically all these servers, right? So, okay, it may take a moment. We'll just be patient and we'll wait here. I don't want to do a fast forward so that you get an idea like approximately how much time it may take. So it of course will depend on your link speed as well. Okay. Then you need to give it some time for all the services to come up. Okay, it's still doing some background processing. So let's try to see if we are able to access Authentic on 9,000 ports. So to do that, we'll just do Authentic dot Authentic is with a K, right? Authentic dot securityfocal.com colon 9000, which and I'll use HTTP in the beginning. So yeah, so Authentic is still starting, right? So initially you will get this error, but this is nothing to worry for. You just need to be patient, give it some time to get properly started. And like I said, it's a very, very powerful IAM solution. So I probably will be doing a number of additional videos here to help you learn it better. And if you need videos on specific topics, please leave a comment in the description. Also, I have created other videos regarding how you can set up Keycloak, which is again a very, very powerful, like a gold standard in open source IDP solution. So if you want to check it, you can see the link in the description of this video. Okay, let's try to refresh it again. Still, we are getting the same error, so we need to give it like a little more time. Let me just close this one and try a new incognito window. Okay, so this is something different. Okay, Authentic is still starting. HTTP // Okay, so yeah, something is here. I think our Authentic is almost came up. Okay, so uh let's do step by step. What I will do next is I'll go to my NGINX server, which will be at authentic dot securityfocal.com colon 81 port, and I will add a HTTPS in the beginning of this one. Oh, sorry, it's HTTP, so my bad. HTTPS nahi hoga, this will be HTTP. Okay, now the username for this one is admin@example.com, and the password will be change me. And of course, the moment you will log in, it will ask you to change it. So I'll say Kumar is, username is, sorry, nickname is Kumar. And my email ID will be kumar@securityfocal.com. If you want to reach out to me, feel free to send me a mail at kumar@securityfocal.com. And let me save this one. It'll ask me to change the password. I'll say existing password and then new password. And I'll click on save. Now I'll create a host here and I'll say proxy host, add proxy host. My domain name will be authentic.securityfocal.com. So you have to replace it with the FQDN that you have. Scheme will be HTTP only. So this is basically where we'll be forwarding our request, right? So let's get the IP address of our instance. So if I go to instance and here I go to my Authentic, here is my Authentic. Okay, let me just refresh this one. Okay, here is my Authentic and let's see the private IP address. Okay, 172.31.15.14. So that will be my IP address. And my HTTP port is 9000, right? So basically what I am doing is using NGINX reverse proxy. I will accept the request on 443 port and redirect it to 9000 port. Next, you need to go to the SSL section, and I'll say SSL certificate is request and use certificate. Force SSL, and I'll say HTTP version 2 support enabled. And I need to, of course, agree to let's encrypt terms of service. And I'll click on save. So make sure you have the A record in place, because if you don't have the A record in place, this step will fail, and you will spend a lot of time figuring out like what may be wrong. Okay, so it has created our interface, basically redirection. Okay, so we should be good here. Next, what we need to do is we need to go to the initial configuration page, and initial configuration page for Authentik is okay, slash if flow initial hyphen setup, right? So let me just copy it from here, and we'll go to our new window, and here I'll say authentik.securityfocal.com slash if flow initial setup, and let's try to browse it. And yes, we are on this Authentik if flow initial setup page. Only thing is it's saying not secure. We'll check it out in a moment, but first let's set it up. Okay, kumar@securityfocal.com, and then I'll give a password here. And I'll say continue. Okay, I'm successfully logged in into my Authentik server using NGINX, right? Because currently I am connected on 443 port. And let me go to admin interface. So this is our beautiful admin interface where you can actually configure things, right? Okay, so now let me do one thing. Let me just close this browser window, and I'll open in a new window this authentik.securityfocal.com using HTTPS. So authentik.securityfocal.com, and let me close, or I can actually log out from here, and I'll close this window. Now let me open a new incognito window, and let me try to go to authentik.securityfocal.com, and you can see there's no certificate error. Our connection is secured. And if I see certificate is valid, and if I click on this, I will be able to see let's encrypt certificate, which is pretty good. And here I can just put my username. Okay, so we are pretty good here, and I can go to the admin interface here. Multiple options that are there. I can create a new application here for authentication, and I can do directory integration using these options of federation and social login. So I will be probably doing a few more videos around Authentik. Please leave a comment if you need specific topics related to Authentik needs to be covered. In the comment section of this video. So guys, thanks a lot for joining me today for this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you face any issues, please leave a comment and I'll try to respond it as soon as I can. Again, thanks a lot. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more interesting security related videos like this.